Gaming's most shocking betrayals can hit harder than any boss fight or epic victory because they come from the people or things you trusted the most. They shatter bonds, rewrite everything you thought you knew, and leave players feeling genuinely angry, heartbroken, or empty. One of the most infamous betrayals in gaming history happens in BioShock. You crash into the underwater city of Rapture, and a smooth-talking voice named Atlas guides you through the chaos via radio. He sounds like a decent guy, just trying to save his family and bring down the tyrant, Andrew Ryan. You fight through splicers, harvest, or rescue little sisters, and do everything Atlas asks because he makes you believe you're the hero of the story. Then, in one of the most iconic twists ever, you finally reach Andrew Ryan. Ryan reveals the horrifying truth with those chilling words. A man chooses, a slave obeys. He hands you the golf club and forces you to kill him. Right after, Atlas drops the act. He reveals he's actually Frank Fontaine, the ruthless crime lord who's been manipulating you with a trigger phrase the entire time. You were never a hero. You were his mind-controlled weapon from the moment you woke up. The friendly voice you relied on was your worst enemy all along. The betrayal is so perfectly executed that players still talk about yelling at their screens in pure shock. But if BioShock's twist shocked you, the betrayal in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas with Big Smoke will make you feel personally stabbed in the back. Throughout the game, Big Smoke is CJ's larger-than-life friend and mentor figure. He's the one cracking jokes, eating ridiculous amounts of food, and seemingly riding with you through thick and thin as you try to reclaim your neighborhood from rival gangs and corrupt cops. He feels like family. Then comes the mission where everything falls apart. You discover Big Smoke has been working with the rival Ballers gang, and even the corrupt Officer Tenpenny the whole time. He helped set up the ambush that killed CJ's mom years earlier and sold out the families for power and money. When you finally confront him in his fortified crack palace, the man who once called you homie tries to gun you down without hesitation. The betrayal cuts deep because Big Smoke wasn't just an ally. He was someone you laughed with and trusted like a brother. Players still say they felt genuine rage and sadness when the truth dropped. Red Dead Redemption 2 delivers another gut-wrenching betrayal with Micah Bell that slowly builds and then explodes. Micah is the loud, unpredictable new member of the Van der Linde gang who Dutch strangely favors. From the beginning, many players and gang members sense something is off about him. He's selfish, violent, and always pushing for bigger, riskier scores. Arthur Morgan especially grows to despise him. As the gang falls apart and the law closes in, the truth comes out. Micah has been a rat for the Pinkerton Detective Agency almost the entire time, feeding them information and turning Dutch against his own people. In the final chapters, his betrayal leads directly to the deaths and destruction of everything the gang stood for. In the high honor ending, Micah is the one who stabs Arthur during their final fight, leaving him to die on that snowy mountain. The man Dutch defended over and over was the poison destroying them from within. It's shocking not just because of the reveal, but because it completely breaks whatever hope was left for the gang's dream. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has one of the coldest, most infuriating betrayals in shooter history, with General Shepard. You play as members of Task Force 141, elite operators hunting terrorist Vladimir Makarov. General Shepard is your commanding officer, the patriotic leader supposedly guiding the fight to save America. After a brutal mission, Roach and Ghost successfully retrieve critical intelligence. Shepard arrives by helicopter, and for a moment it feels like a victory. Then, without warning, he shoots Roach and Ghost in cold blood, burns their bodies, and reveals he orchestrated much of the chaos to rally public support for his war. He was never on your side. He was using you and your team as pawns to rebuild his own power and reputation. The betrayal is so sudden and brutal that it redefined how players looked at military story campaigns. Many still remember the exact moment their jaw dropped as Shepard walked away like nothing happened. Portal 2 flips the script with one of the funniest, yet most shocking betrayals, courtesy of Wheatley. Early in the game, after you escape GLaDOS, the quirky little personality core named Wheatley becomes your cheerful, bumbling companion. He helps you navigate the ruined facility, cracks jokes, and seems genuinely on your side against the evil AI. You grow attached to his clumsy personality, but once you help plug him into the mainframe to replace GLaDOS, everything changes. Wheatley's ego explodes. He becomes power-hungry, insane, and immediately turns on you, trapping you and forcing you into deadly testing chambers again. The friendly idiot you trusted becomes a megalomaniac who tries to kill you without a second thought. The shift is so dramatic and well written that it catches players completely off guard and makes the later parts of the game hit even harder. In The Last of Us Part 2, the betrayal involving Ellie and Joel's past hits on a deeply personal level, but one that still shocks is how certain alliances crumble. However, for pure shock value, many point to moments where trusted survivors turn when survival is on the line, though the game is more famous for its cycle of revenge, born from earlier betrayals of trust. Another classic that still stings is Albert Wesker in the Resident Evil series. Wesker starts as a seemingly loyal STARS captain in the first game, guiding your team through the mansion horror. Then, he reveals he's been working for Umbrella Corporation the entire time, fakes his death, and becomes one of the franchise's biggest villains. The trusted leader was a traitor from day one. And in Metal Gear Solid 5, the slow burn betrayal involving Huey Emmerich and others adds layers of distrust that make you question everyone around you. These shocking betrayals prove that in gaming, the knife in the back often comes from the last place you expect. Whether it's a close friend selling you out for power, a helpful voice manipulating you from the start, or a commanding officer executing his own men, these moments don't just surprise you. They make you rethink the entire story and the characters you thought you knew. Those are some of gaming's most shocking betrayals. They remind us how powerful a well-written twist can be when it breaks the trust you built over hours of gameplay. Drop a comment below and tell me which betrayal shocked or hurt you the most. Was it Big Smoke, Micah, Shepard, Atlas, Wheatley, or one I didn't mention? Let me know your personal worst. If you want more deep dives into gaming's darkest moments, worst fates, tragic characters, and brutal lore, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.